Universalist Church of Corpus Christi. My name is Lisa Cuevas, and my pronouns are she, her. I'm pleased to be your worship associate this morning. Whether this is your first time you've been with us or you've been with us for years, both here in person and online, we unconditionally welcome you as your full, authentic self. We are excited to welcome you to our worship service this morning. We welcome all faiths and no faiths. In particular, we welcome you as you are and whoever you love and wherever you are on your journey. Our gathering together during this time has intention and purpose. This space at this time is holy and sacred. Though we may sometimes fall short of our ideals, we come together with the intention to grow as spiritual and moral beings. To that end, we recite a covenant each week, which is not a creed, but a promise we make to one another. We live within our values: interdependence, equity, transformation, pluralism, generosity, and justice, with love at the center. Evening for a Purple Martin celebration. If you're interested, Jill, stop by the hallway to view her stunning quilt designs. Her exhibit will be up for July and August. If you have art to share, you can get on the waiting list for an exhibit by contacting Debbie Sunderman. The Shire of Seawind's SCA Arts and Sciences Group meets this Monday, tomorrow, July 13 at 6 p.m. Come meet skilled artisans and explore a wide variety of historical and creative crafts. No experience is necessary. They're always happy to teach and welcome newcomers. CUPS, the Covenant of UU Pagans, will be meeting Sunday, July 26 at 12:30 p.m. See Arlene Rincon for more information. The next New to You classes will be held on Sundays, August 2 and August 9 at 12:15 in the Raspberry Room. See Michael Causey for more information. As always, please check the information board in the hallway and the order of service for regularly occurring events, and scan the QR code for the weekly e-blast for all of these events and more are listed.
I have a special announcement for those of you who remember David Farrington as our interim minister from 2006 to 2008. He passed away peacefully in his sleep on June 19th up in Massachusetts. So I just wanted to let everybody know.
It is our custom in this church to offer visitors and newcomers a chance to introduce themselves if they feel comfortable doing so. If this is your first time here, or you just feel ready to say hello after coming for a while, we invite you to stand as you are able or raise your hand and tell us your name and where you are from. Rob will bring the microphone so that those who stream our services may hear you. Are there any visitors or newcomers here today who would like to introduce themselves?
Hello, I'm Greg Reuter, and I'm supporting Bibi with her talk this afternoon. So,
Thank you. Welcome.
I'm Brenda Weathered, and since Greg was brave enough to stand up, I thought I would too. And I'm also here supporting Bibi, and I have been to this church a few times, but it's been a while, so thank you.
We welcome everyone and invite you to join us for coffee and conversation after the service. Our service will now begin. Please rise as you are able and willing to join with the choir for the singing of today's opening hymn. This is hymn number 38. Today's service centers around the Unitarian Universalist value of interdependence. We honor the interdependent web of all existence and acknowledge our place in it. I would like to invite up Tess Cherry. I would like to invite up Tristan to light our chalice while I share these words. There is Light by Eric Williams. In the beginning, there was light, infinite and expansive, flowing out from an unseen center. Throughout creation, there is light. From the steady sun, the glowing moon, the flashing meteor, the twinkling stars, and the auroras dancing in the northern skies. Within each part of creation, there is light, slowed down and held close by every cell and molecule, by each atom and element. Within you, there is light, the same light as the source, the same radiance that is in all creatures. May this small flame be a constant reminder to you of your true nature and your kinship with all beings. Please rise in body or spirit for the affirmation of our church covenant. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve human need to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other and with all we hold sacred. Please be seated.
Inch by inch, row by row, gonna make this garden grow. Gonna mulch it deep and low, gonna make it fertile ground. Inch by inch, row by row, please bless these seeds I sow. Please keep them safe below till the rains come tumbling down. Pulling weeds, picking stones, we are made of dreams and bones. Need a place to call my own, 'cause the time is close at hand. Grain for grain, sun and rain, find my way in nature's chain. Tune my body and my brain to the music of the land. Inch by inch, row by row, gonna make this garden grow. Gonna mulch it deep and low, gonna make it fertile ground. Inch by inch, row by row,
asked you to be seated because I really wanted you to stand up.
Good morning. Do we need to do that one again? No? No? I don't know. I'm Tess Cherry, your religious exploration coordinator here at U2C3. And with today's service being about native plants and growing them and keeping things alive, I, as a biologist, had to sneak in a teaching moment and tell you about the dangers of invasive species. So let's go with that.
Southern United States, climbing as high as 100 feet as they uproot trees and swallow buildings. A ravenous snake that is capable of devouring an alligator. Rabbit populations that eat themselves into starvation. These aren't horror movie concepts, they're real stories. But how could such situations exist in nature? All three are examples of invasive species, organisms harmful not because of what they are, but where they happen to be. The kudzu vine, for example, had grown quietly in its native East Asia, eaten by various insects and dying off during the cold winters. But its fortunes changed when it was imported into the southeastern United States for porch decoration and cattle feed. Its planting was even subsidized by the government to fight soil erosion. With sunny fields, a mild climate, and no natural predators in its new home, the vine grew uncontrollably until it became known as the plant that ate the South. Meanwhile, in Florida's Everglades, Burmese pythons, thought to have been released by pet owners, are the cause of decreasing populations of organisms. They're successfully outcompeting top predators, such as the alligator and panther, causing a significant reduction in their food sources. They're not a problem in their native Asia because diseases, parasites, and predators help to control their population size. And in Australia, European rabbits eat so many plants that they wipe out the food supply for themselves and other herbivores. They're a pretty recent addition, intentionally introduced to the continent because one man enjoyed hunting them. Like the Burmese pythons, various factors in their native habitat keep their numbers in control. But in Australia, the lack of predators and a climate perfect for year-long reproduction allows their populations to skyrocket. So why does this keep happening? Most of the world's ecosystems are the result of millennia of co-evolution by organisms, adapting to their environment and each other until a stable balance is reached. Healthy ecosystems maintain this balance via limiting factors, environmental conditions that restrict the size or range of a species. These include things like natural geography and climate, food availability, and the presence or absence of predators. For example, plant growth depends on levels of sunlight and soil nutrients. The amount of edible plants affects the population of herbivores, which in turn impacts the carnivores that feed on them. And a healthy predator population keeps the herbivores from becoming too numerous and devouring all the plants. But even minor changes in one factor can upset this balance, and the sudden introduction of non-native organisms can be a pretty major change. A species that is evolved in a separate habitat will be susceptible to different limiting factors, different predators, different energy sources, and different climates. If the new habitat's limiting factors fail to restrict the species' growth, it will continue to multiply, outcompeting native organisms for resources and disrupting the entire ecosystem. Species are sometimes introduced into new habitats through natural factors like storms, ocean currents, or climate shifts. The majority of invasive species, though, are introduced by humans. Often this happens unintentionally, as when the zebra mussel was accidentally brought to Lake Erie by cargo ships. But as people migrate around the world, we have also deliberately brought our plants and animals along, rarely considering the consequences. But now that we're learning more about the effects of invasive species on ecosystems, many governments closely monitor the transport of plants and animals and ban the imports of certain organisms. But could the species with the most drastic environmental impact be a group of primates who emerged from Africa to cover most of the world? Are we an invasive species?
All right, since it's summer, that's my teaching moment of the year. I would like to, today has been a morning, sorry guys. I'd like to invite the young and young at heart to join me in our reading.
After our meditation reading and time of silence, and when the music begins, all who would like to are invited to come to the chalice table and light a candle representing a joy or a concern you may be holding in your heart today. Please come up one at a time using the middle aisle. And keep in mind, the further lit candles are placed in the sand, the less of a risk to the next person's hand. If you are with us online today, you are welcome to share your joys and sorrows in the chat feature. Our meditation reading today is from Ralph Waldo Emerson, from his essay called Nature. The greatest delight which the fields and woods minister is the suggestion of an occult relationship between man and the vegetable. I am not alone and unacknowledged. They nod to me, and I to them. The waving of the boughs and the storm is new to me and old. It takes me by surprise, and yet is not unknown. Its effect is like that of a higher thought or a better emotion coming over me when I deemed I was thinking justly or doing right. During our time of silent meditation today, you may choose to revisit a place in nature where you felt at peace, or felt uplifted, or perhaps felt the boundary between yourself and the other fading. This could be a beach, a forest, a lake at sunset, or just lying in your backyard looking at the stars. Our speaker today is Bibi Dalrymple. Bibi is a Canadian/American who has called Corpus Christi her home since 1989. She has been a university research librarian, a stay-at-home mom, and finally a cardiac and vascular sonographer. In 2018, she joined the South Texas chapter of the Texas Master Naturalist Program, which ignited her interest in gardening with native plants. She is a certified Texas Master Naturalist. As the Audubon Outdoor Club Stewardship Chair for Blucher Park, she organizes a group of volunteers who work hard to maintain the park's native habitat that sustains many resident birds and countless migratory birds. I first met Bibi at Blucher Park when she was asking for volunteers. I got on her email list, and every week, twice a week, I would get, I'm going to be at Blucher tomorrow. Please come out and help if you want to. Well, I finally got around to going, and I'm very glad I did. She has been a great inspiration, a patient teacher to me, helping me to identify native and invasive species. Twice a week, regardless of hot, cold, or mosquitoes, she's at work at Blucher. Her dedication to making the park a mini paradise for wildlife is admirable, and the results are amazing. Please welcome Bibi Dalrymple.
Okay, I'm not used to microphones. Is this good? First, thank you, Lisa, for that very nice introduction. And, okay. Oh, I've got to turn this on. Okay. Hello, and thank you for inviting me to talk about one of my passions, gardening with native plants. I've always enjoyed gardening, but it's really in the last 8 years that I have come to understand how our home landscapes can be part of the tapestry of ecosystems that sustain the native flora and fauna that evolved here. So we humans have been part of the local ecosystem for 11 to 13 millennia, but in the last few hundred years, we have lost our connection to the land we call home. Through ignorance, hubris, market forces, we have created landscapes that bear no relationship to the spaces we inhabit. So it is time to garden in a way that provides habitat for the creatures that support our ecosystem. My thinking has been influenced by writers, researchers, friends, and fellow plant enthusiasts. Much of what I say today I attribute to entomologist Doug Tallamy. I have acquired experience working in my yard and organizing a group of volunteers who strive to create and sustain a native wildlife habitat at Blucher Park, which is a 5-acre park in a very urban setting in uptown Corpus Christi. I know enough to know how little I know. But what I want to convey to you today is how we should and how we can and why we should garden with respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. I seem to be having trouble. Could you just advance them for me? So, yeah, number 3. So first, let's consider some numbers. About 95% of the land in Texas is privately owned. Nationwide, there are 135 million acres of typical residential landscapes in the U.S. But these landscapes support very little diversity of life because we're cultivating about 40 million acres of lawn, which are mostly food deserts for North American fauna. Every year, we're developing 800,000 acres of natural landscapes into residential landscapes. It's one reason North America has lost 3 billion, that's with a B, 3 billion breeding birds in 50 years, and some insect populations are declining significantly. Next slide. Because we are destroying wild habitats, we need to practice conservation where we live, work, farm, and play. We need to restore the nature we destroyed and find ways for nature to thrive in human-dominated landscapes. The way to accomplish this is to add native plants to our landscapes, because it's the native plants that host the insects that support the local food web. The added benefit of using native plants is that they have adapted to the climate and conditions here. Once they're established, most native plants won't need additional watering because they have amazing adaptations that allow them to survive and thrive in the harsh conditions here. So these two homes are next to each other in central Corpus Christi. The landscape on the left is beautiful and provides ecosystem services, thanks to all the native trees, shrubs, and flowers. The one on the right is a typical landscape with turf grass and a couple of trees. And as I will explain in a moment, even the native oak trees can't fulfill all their ecological potential because of the need to mow the grass under their canopies. Next slide. So I imagine some or many of you are gardeners, and some of you may be aware of the importance of native plants. Some of you may enjoy gardening with traditional exotic plants, and I'm not here to admonish you. I'm not a purist or absolutist. But I am going to encourage you to add native plants to your flower beds, and if you have a lawn, gradually reduce its footprint. My focus today is to convince you to garden for insects. Traditionally, gardeners see caterpillars as pests, but when I choose plants for my yard, I'm always interested in what insects will be attracted to them as pollinators and what caterpillars will feed on them. I want the insects to eat my plants. Next slide. Caterpillars have been described as the meat and potatoes, or the bread and butter of terrestrial food webs. Caterpillars transfer more energy from plants to other animals than any other insect. So we need to garden for caterpillars. 90% of the insects that eat plants can develop and reproduce only on the plants with which they share an evolutionary history. Plants don't want to be eaten, so they create defenses against insects. And the insects adapt to those defenses over long periods of time. That's why when we bring in native plants from other continents, our insects are unable to use them as effectively as the native plants that they have co-evolved with. Next slide, please. 96% of terrestrial songbirds rely on caterpillars to feed their babies. The prevalence of these small, soft-bodied, protein-rich larvae affects where the birds choose to nest, and very significantly, how big a territory they need to defend. So even though adult seed-eating birds, such as the northern cardinal, subsist mainly on seeds, they feed their nestlings a diet of protein-rich insects, larvae, and spiders. Chicks need high levels of protein and fat to support rapid growth. And caterpillars are like a sausage with a thin casing that fuels that growth. Next slide, please. So we also want to support pollinators, which allow flowering plants to reproduce. Many of our native bees are specialists, meaning that they depend on specific plants for the pollen that they feed their larvae. And many flowering plants depend on specific insects to pollinate them effectively. North America is home to over 4,000 species of native bees. Unlike the non-native honeybee They don't live in large manufactured wooden hives. Instead, about 70% live as solitary bees in underground tunnels, while the remaining 30% nest in hollow plant stems, dead trees, or cavities. So when gardening for native bees, we will need to leave some bare ground and dead wood and old plant stems for them to complete their life cycle. Next slide, please. Plants that evolved here have amazing adaptations that allowed them to not only survive but thrive here. Here is just one example, the ratama tree, which thrives in hot, arid environments through extreme water conservation and structural defenses. Its green trunk and branches contain chlorophyll, allowing the tree to continue making food even when it sheds its leaves to survive droughts. It will shed its leaves to minimize water loss through transpiration. Sharp, rigid spines protect the moisture-rich inner branches from being eaten by hungry herbivores. And as a legume, it fixes nitrogen in the soil, and it also acts as a nurse shrub to create microclimates that help smaller plants survive. To thrive in South Texas, these resilient trees also feature specialized stomata to control water vapor release and a deep spreading root system for accessing underground moisture. Next slide, please. Cenizo, or Texas sage, is a common landscape plant in Corpus Christi, and for good reason. It has evolved highly specific traits to conquer the intense heat, blazing sun, and periodic droughts of the Texas environment. The ashy gray color of its leaves is caused by a dense layer of microscopic woolly hairs. This silver coating acts as a heat reflector, bouncing intense sunlight away from the plant while trapping localized moisture around the leaf pores to prevent dehydration. The volatile oils and texture that help it retain water also make the foliage highly unpalatable to browsing herbivores like white-tailed deer. Adapted to rocky, dry environments like the Edwards Plateau and South Texas chaparral, Cenizo features a deep, established taproot that accesses deep underground water reserves, allowing it to survive prolonged dry spells without supplementary irrigation. Next slide, please. So one way to start small in your own landscape is to create soft landings under trees. A soft landing is a restorative garden bed planted under a tree canopy. It replaces sterile turf grass with layered native vegetation, leaf litter, and woody debris to shelter dropping caterpillars, fireflies, and overwintering pollinators as they mature. Many moth species don't spin cocoons but pupate in underground tunnels. So this is a great way to reduce the amount of lawn. It's also a place where you can store the leaves that fall off your tree that you may want to remove from the remaining areas of lawn. Next slide, please. I'm going to mention two more specific plants. These two native ground covers, frog fruit and horseherb, can replace turf grass in some settings. Frog fruit will cover the ground quickly and tolerates full sun and dry conditions. It can be mowed occasionally to keep it in check and will tolerate light foot traffic. Pollinators love the little white flowers, and it's the larval host for three butterflies, the Phaon crescent, the buckeye, and the white peacock. You may be familiar with horseherb, the one on the right, because it pops up everywhere. People spend time and money trying to get it out of their lawns, which is a shame because under the right conditions, it can replace turf grass. It grows well in the shade, under trees. It also tolerates quite a bit of sun and light foot traffic. It has little yellow flowers that attract small butterflies, such as skippers. Next slide, please. I took these two photos around the corner from my place. So the health strip is that piece of land between the sidewalk and the street, and it can be challenging to grow stuff there. I don't have a health strip in front of my yard, but if I did, I would probably plant it with either horse herb or frog fruit, depending on the conditions. So in this slide, you see on the left, the ground is covered with a nice patch of horse herb that looks healthy, and it is serving an ecological function. I'm sure the homeowner spent no time or effort cultivating the horse herb. It's just what popped up and thrived under the harsh conditions. The other picture is just a few houses down. Before water restrictions, it was thick with St. Augustine grass because it was watered regularly. But after water restrictions, the turf grass died and the patch became weedy and unsightly. Next slide, please. So finally, I hope you will consider creating a garden that celebrates and honors this beautiful part of Texas. Yards that are landscaped with turf grass and a few exotic trees remind me of strip malls. When you drive through towns and want to get a sense of the place, its vibe and history, you look for the historic town square and Main Street with its unique building to get a sense of place. You don't drive the main drag with the strip malls to get a sense of where you are. The same can be said for our gardens. Squares of lawn with a couple crepe myrtles and boxwood hedges can be seen in any landscape in the US. So let's create landscapes that are ecologically functional and reflect the evolutionary history of our unique area. Whether you have a big yard, a small yard, or just space for one potted plant, I hope you will consider adding some native plants to the space you steward. To quote Doug Tallamy, as gardeners and stewards of our land, we have never been so empowered to help save biodiversity from extinction, and the need to do so has never been so great. Next slide, please. So, if you're interested in joining the grassroots movement, there are copious resources from books to websites to apps and social media accounts. I created a short printed list of some of my favorites, and I will put them out there on the table if anybody wants to collect those. Next slide, please. Some of my favorite websites for researching plants include the Native Plant Society of Texas, the Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Center, and Native American Seed. Next slide, please. A great way to identify plants, insects, and animals is by using these free apps. iNaturalist is an amazing resource. You open the app, photograph any wild plant, animal, fungi, or other organism. The app suggests an identification immediately, and a global community of naturalists confirms or refines it. Then your observation becomes open data used by scientists, conservationists, and researchers worldwide. Next slide, please. So I will leave you with this picture taken by John Brandt at Blucher Park. It features blooming Anaqua and Wasatch trees in early spring, and I wish you could smell how the blooms perfumed the air that day. Seeing this combination of trees tells me that I'm in Texas, somewhere between the Rio Grande Valley and the Edwards Plateau, in a place I call home. Thank you.
Now is the time we participate in the care of our church community by giving and receiving the offering. If you are contributing to your pledge today, be sure to write pledge on your check or cash envelope. The ushers will present the offering basket to you, and all you have to do is drop your offering in. In addition to the basket, for those joining us at home, we have several options for making your offering. Please use the links on screen to give through our website, by PayPal, or by using the Venco mobile app. Your offering, no matter how you make it, will be gratefully received. I believe Kirk and Lauren will come around.
Mother Earth lives on the ocean. Mother Earth sails on the sea. I am blessed with her devotion. Mother Earth provides for me. Now I am going on a journey, and I pray all things end well, while Mother Earth looks after me. I will follow faithfully. Green trees grow on mountain top. Birds still sing while morning comes. Though I treat her carelessly, Mother Earth provides for me. When the grasslands crave for water and the harvest needs sunlight, these are times when I am helpless. Mother Earth makes all things right. Mother Earth lives on the ocean. Mother Earth sails on the sea. I am blessed with her devotion. Mother Earth provides for me. Mother Earth provides for me. Mother Earth provides for me.
In an essay called The Service Berry, Robin Wall Kimmerer describes how the food and other blessings we get from plants can be thought of as gifts freely given. She says we can show our gratitude to them with our care for them. She writes, "In the presence of such gifts, gratitude is the intuitive response. This gratitude flows toward our plant elders and radiates to the rain, to the sunshine, to the improbability of bushes spangled with morsels of sweetness in a world that can be bitter." May we experience love and gratitude for all the wondrous gifts Mother Earth gives us.
As we leave this friendly place, love give light to every face. May the kindness which we learn light our hearts till we return.
Go now in peace.